Long before the Great Flood, before the wrath of the Almighty swept across the earth, there was a time when the cosmos trembled with a defiance never before seen. The firmament, once a sanctuary of divine harmony, became the stage for a fateful insurrection, a moment when celestial beings, those created to serve and watch over creation, turned their gaze downward, toward the world of men. The heavens bore witness to the whispers of desire, to the flicker of rebellion growing in the hearts of those who had once stood in the sacred courts of the Almighty. These beings, known as the Watchers, had been entrusted with the sacred duty of guiding humanity, of watching over them as silent guardians from their lofty domain. But something changed. Curiosity turned to longing, admiration into temptation, and so, in an act that defied the very order of the cosmos, they abandoned their heavenly station and descended. They came not as messengers of light, but as heralds of a new age, one forged in the fires of forbidden knowledge and earthly indulgence. What began as a desire to walk among men soon became an all-consuming hunger. These once radiant beings, who had basked in the eternal glow of the divine, now cast long shadows over the earth. Their presence altered the course of history, for in their wake came a race of giants, chaos, and the unraveling of the natural order. This is their story, the tale of the Watchers, the fallen, the forsaken, the angels who defied the will of heaven, and in doing so, brought about their own doom. The Watchers were once glorious beings, celestial sentinels residing in the grand expanse of the heavens. They were beings of pure radiance, forged from the very light of creation itself, imbued with wisdom beyond mortal comprehension. They dwelled in the highest realms, where reality shimmered with the breath of the Almighty, where luminous towers of divine energy stretched endlessly across the heavens. The air pulsed with celestial harmonies, an eternal chorus of praise that resonated across the firmament, each note a reflection of divine order and balance. The Watchers stood in the presence of the Most High, their forms shimmering with the brilliance of the divine, their voices echoing with the authority of their sacred duty. They were not mere observers but keepers of cosmic law, entrusted with overseeing the affairs of mankind, guiding them toward wisdom, and ensuring the balance between the spiritual and mortal realms remained undisturbed. Each Watcher carried within them the knowledge of creation, the secrets of the heavens and the foundations of the earth, their purpose woven into the very fabric of existence. But even in the grandest of realms, temptation finds a way to creep in. The Watchers, who once looked upon the earth with detached reverence, began to see it with new eyes. From their celestial heights, they marveled at the raw beauty of human existence, the emotions, the passions, the desires. They watched as men and women loved, as they built and dreamed, as they shaped the world with their own hands. Curiosity turned to admiration, admiration into longing, and longing into obsession. What had once been an innocent duty became an unbearable temptation. A choice lay before them: remain as they were, bound to the heavens, or step beyond the threshold of divinity and become something else entirely. And so, as the heavens wept and the firmament trembled, the decision was made, a fateful descent that would change the course of human history forever. Their role was one of guardianship, tasked with overseeing the affairs of mankind, guiding them toward wisdom, and preserving the balance between the spiritual and mortal realms. They stood in the courts of the Almighty, bearing witness to the unfolding destiny of creation. Their presence was luminous, their power vast, and their knowledge unparalleled. The Book of Enoch tells of 200 divine beings known as the Watchers, celestial guardians chosen by the Most High to oversee the affairs of humanity. Led by the mighty Semjaza, they cast their eyes upon the daughters of men and found them beautiful. This longing festered within their ranks, a yearning that turned into a whisper that became an oath. In secret, they conspired, swearing upon one another a solemn pact, a pledge to forsake the divine law and take for themselves mortal wives, knowing full well the consequences of their defiance. One by one, They cast aside their heavenly nature and prepared for the descent that would forever alter the fate of both men and angels alike. Among them were 20 leaders, each commanding their own group of watchers. Their names echoed in the celestial halls. Semjaza means infamous rebellion, or my name has seen. Semjaza is the chief of the watchers, his very name embodying his infamous betrayal of divine law. His eyes burn with the weight of forbidden knowledge, for he has seen what should never be revealed. His colossal wings are tattered from his fall, yet they still glow with remnants of celestial fire. His voice is both commanding and sorrowful, carrying the echoes of a decision that changed the fate of the world. Arakiba means Arch of God, or the one who covers. Once a divine guardian, Arakiba's name signifies protection and watchfulness. His 4 glowing eyes scan all directions, never resting, as if still carrying his duty of watching over creation. His massive form is like an unbreakable arch, a symbol of stability turned to secrecy after his descent. Ramil means thunder of God, or God has spoken. A celestial herald of divine decrees, Ramil's voice booms like rolling thunder, shaking the heavens and the earth. He was once the voice of divine revelation, but after his fall, he became the teacher of hidden truths, revealing to men the secrets of fate, prophecy, and dreams. His presence distorts time, as if past and future merge whenever he speaks. Kokabiel means star of God, or he who knows the stars. Kokabiel's name reflects his dominion over the stars, and his vast wings shimmer with shifting constellations. He was once the keeper of celestial order, but he fell when he taught humanity the secrets of the heavens, unlocking the knowledge of astrology and the movements of celestial bodies. His eyes glow like twin stars, holding within them the wisdom of the cosmos. Tamiel means perfection of God, or God's hidden knowledge. Tamiel's name speaks of divine wisdom, but his downfall came when he revealed sacred mysteries that were meant to remain hidden. His deep blue skin is covered in shifting symbols, ancient writings that hold knowledge too vast for mortal minds to comprehend. His presence carries an unsettling weight, as if he gazes into the deepest abyss of the unknown. Ramiel means thunder of God, or God's mercy. Ramiel's very essence is tied to the storms and waters of heaven. His wings crackle with lightning, and his every movement ripples with the power of an approaching storm. He was once a bringer of divine mercy, but after his fall, he became a teacher of weather manipulation and the secrets of nature's fury. Danel means God has judged, or the arbiter of divine justice. Danel's presence commands judgment, his deep azure eyes piercing through deceit. Once an agent of divine justice, his name reflects his former duty of weighing the actions of mortals. His fall brought him the knowledge of mortal justice, leading to the understanding of laws, governance, and even corruption. Ezekiel means strength of God, or God's firmness. Ezekiel's body radiates unshakable power, his massive frame unmovable as the heavens themselves. His name once reflected his role as a pillar of divine strength, but after his fall, he gave humans the knowledge of strategy, resilience, and war. His 8 wings hold the shifting patterns of clouds, signifying his former dominion over the skies. Barakijal means lightning of God, or God's shining light. Barakijal's body is wreathed in fire, his name a testament to his former role as a bearer of divine light. His presence is both beautiful and terrifying, for his knowledge allowed mortals to harness fire, forge weapons, and create tools of war. His golden eyes burn like an eternal flame, forever carrying the weight of his teachings. Asael means God has made, or God's creation. Asael was once a master craftsman, his name signifying the divine act of creation. His fall came when he taught humanity how to craft weapons and armor, turning knowledge meant for protection into tools of war. His skin shimmers like celestial steel, engraved with lost runes of creation. Armaros means cursed one, or he who binds. Armaros's name signifies his fallen fate. once a celestial keeper of divine restraints. Now, he teaches men how to bind spirits, control elements, and weave magical enchantments. His form flickers like a shifting mirage, as if he exists in multiple realities at once. Ananel means grace of God or God's favor. Ananel was once a divine bestower of blessings, his name symbolizing God's grace. His fall led him to reveal the secrets of divine communication, leading men to seek forbidden knowledge. His presence warps time, as if he still carries echoes of divine favor turned to exile. Zachiel means purity of God or God's clarity. Zachiel was a silent observer, his name reflecting his once flawless nature. After his fall, he became the teacher of illusions and concealment, showing men how to hide in the shadows and manipulate perception. His bright cerulean eyes glow like moons, the last remnants of his former purity. Samsiel means son of God or God's light. Samsiel was once a radiant being, his very name tied to the glory of divine light. His fall caused him to teach humanity the secrets of eclipses and celestial cycles, allowing men to track and manipulate the heavens. His dark wings are edged with glowing blue fire, symbolizing the balance between light and shadow. Saturel means hidden of God or God's secret. Saturel was once a keeper of divine mysteries, his name signifying the hidden aspects of the cosmos. He fell when he revealed the secrets of time, destiny, and the veiled paths of existence. His form shifts like a mirage, his presence causing distortions in reality, as if he still holds the keys to knowledge beyond mortal grasp. Uriel means rock of God or God's firmness. Uriel's colossal frame is as immovable as a mountain, his name once symbolizing divine stability and steadfastness. After his fall, he taught men how to read the signs of the earth, revealing the secrets of stones, gems, and the hidden power within them. His deep voice rumbles like an earthquake, and his blue skin shimmers with veins of celestial minerals. These were not mere rebels. They were the architects of a great cosmic transgression, the ones who cast aside their celestial responsibilities for the fleeting pleasures of the earthly realm. As one, they gathered beneath the sacred peaks of Mount Hermon, a place soon to be tainted by their defiance. From the heavens they fell, their radiance dimming as they shed their divine forms, their descent not heralded by trumpets, but by the silent whispers of a fate forever altered. One by one, they touched the earth, the weight of mortality pressing upon them, yet the hunger of their forbidden longing burning ever brighter. They took for themselves human wives, fragile beings whose beauty had drawn them from their celestial thrones. But this was no mere union. It was an unholy fusion of spirit and flesh, a transgression that would birth a nightmare unlike anything the world had ever seen. From these unions arose the Nephilim, giants of immense strength, beings neither fully mortal nor wholly divine. They were titans of chaos, their voices shaking the mountains, their footsteps carving valleys into the land. They were the offspring of divine rebellion, creatures of unspeakable might and unchecked hunger. No kingdom could contain them, no army could stand against them. They grew in power, and with their rise, the world trembled. Born of divine and mortal blood, the Nephilim were giants, towering figures of unimaginable power. Their very presence sent shudders through the lands, their eyes burning with an otherworldly fire. They were beings of insatiable hunger, devouring everything in their wake. Forests turned to dust, rivers ran dry, and mountains trembled beneath their weight. They crushed the homes of men underfoot, uprooted great trees as weapons, and consumed both man and beast without mercy. Their rampage knew no bounds. Cities, once bustling with life, were reduced to ruins in mere moments. Stone walls crumbled under their colossal fists. Temples once dedicated to the gods were defiled and shattered. Civilization as it was known began to disintegrate under the might of these beings. The cries of the innocent filled the night as entire villages vanished into the jaws of destruction. And yet, no warrior, no kingdom could stand against them. The Nephilim saw themselves as kings among men, ruling over them with merciless brutality. They built great fortresses, towering above the lands, their laughter echoing through the valleys as they feasted upon the weak. Their very footsteps shook the earth, and where they walked, ruin followed. But their greed was boundless. As their numbers grew, so did their hunger for land, for dominion, for supremacy. The Nephilim, once united in their defiance of divine law, turned on each other. Brother against brother, giant against giant, their insatiable thirst for power ignited wars that ravaged the world. The land became a wasteland of bloodshed. The sky darkened with smoke as their battles carved great scars upon the earth. The land became a battleground where no human dared step foot, for even the strongest armies were mere playthings to these colossal beings. Their battles caused earthquakes, their roars cracked the skies, and their greed drained the earth of its resources. They fought with stones the size of mountains, wielded massive weapons forged in fire, and left behind trails of destruction that scarred the earth forever. Men fled in terror as the giants clashed. Their bodies, once mighty, now lay broken across the blood-soaked fields. The wails of the dying echoed into the heavens. This was not just war, it was annihilation. But the corruption did not end with the Nephilim. The Watchers, now basking in their defiance, reveled in their dominion over mankind. What was once sacred knowledge, meant to be wielded only in the celestial realms, was now gifted recklessly to humans, altering the course of civilization forever. They walked among men as gods, whispering forbidden wisdom in the ears of kings and warlords, shaping the rise and fall of empires with their otherworldly knowledge. Azazel, one of the greatest among them, was the most brazen in his defiance. He taught men the secrets of metallurgy, the forging of weapons sharper than any before, instruments of war that would stain the earth with endless bloodshed. The art of combat, the crafting of swords, shields, and armor, all became tools of destruction under his guidance. The battlefield, once a place of human struggle, became a stage for carnage beyond measure. But Azazel was not alone in his corruption. Other Watchers imparted dangerous wisdom, secrets of the heavens, revealing the paths of celestial bodies, the motions of the stars, and the alignment of the cosmos. With this knowledge, men sought to predict the future, to bend fate to their will, to chart destinies among the stars. Yet, what they did not understand was that such knowledge came with consequences, for the manipulation of the heavens was a path fraught with darkness. Some among the fallen taught the mysteries of sorcery and enchantment, revealing the veiled energies that coursed through the world, corrupting men with power beyond their comprehension. They whispered incantations into the ears of priests, showed rituals to those who craved dominion, and taught the crafting of talismans infused with unnatural might. The once pure hearts of mankind grew darker, their souls tethered to forces beyond mortal reckoning. With their influence, the natural order unraveled. Once simple men became tyrants, their greed unchecked, their hunger for power insatiable. The balance between the divine and the mortal had been shattered, and with it, the fate of the world teetered on the edge of destruction. The heavens watched in despair as their sacred knowledge was twisted into tools of conquest and ruin, as humanity, once innocent, descended into chaos at the behest of their celestial corruptors. The cries of the earth had reached the heavens. The Most High, in his boundless fury, cast his gaze upon the fallen, his voice resounding like 1,000 thunders across the firmament. From his throne of eternal light, he decreed judgment upon those who had betrayed their celestial calling, and to execute his will, the Almighty summoned his most powerful archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel. They would be the instruments of divine wrath, the executioners of heaven's decree. Archangel Michael, which means, who is like God. As the commander of heaven's armies, Michael wields a flaming sword of divine justice, capable of cutting through the fabric of existence. His very presence shakes the heavens, his voice a thunderous declaration of divine wrath against the rebellious. He is the sword of the Almighty, the enforcer of divine law, and the one who led the charge against the Watchers, striking them down with righteous fury. Archangel Gabriel, which means, God is my strength. As the messenger of God, Gabriel's voice carries the very decree of the Almighty, shaking both the heavens and the earth. He stands as the harbinger of divine warnings and revelations. It was Gabriel who delivered the final decree to the Watchers, his voice booming like celestial thunder as he proclaimed their doom before their fall. He is the bridge between realms, the voice of divine authority, Archangel Raphael, which means God heals. As the healer of heaven, Raphael's touch restores life and purges corruption. Yet, he also serves divine justice. It was Raphael who bound Azazel in chains of celestial fire, ensuring the corruptor's imprisonment deep within the abyss. His hands, though meant to heal, were the very instruments that cast one of the greatest deceivers into eternal darkness. Archangel Uriel, which means, God is my light. As the angel of wisdom and divine fire, Uriel is the keeper of celestial knowledge and the sealer of judgment. When the Almighty decreed the punishment of the fallen Watchers, it was Uriel who sealed them beneath the mountains, ensuring that their corruption would never again plague the earth. His presence is like a roaring fire that consumes deceit, and his wisdom is feared even among the celestial host. Michael, the great warrior, led the charge, his flaming sword cleaving through the darkness as he struck down the rebellious host. Gabriel, the messenger of God, delivered the final warning to the Watchers. The battle was fierce, the earth shaking beneath the weight of divine conflict. As the Watchers, once radiant beings, were subdued, they were cast into darkness, their celestial forms bound in chains forged from the light of the Almighty himself. Their cries echoed through the void, but no mercy was given. The gates of the abyss closed upon them, their punishment sealed for eternity. Then the Almighty spoke. You who were once my chosen, my sentinels of wisdom and keepers of balance, have defied the order of the heavens. You have sown discord where there was harmony, cast darkness where there was light, and forged chaos from the fabric of creation itself. You have given man the knowledge that was never meant to be wielded by mortals, twisted their hearts with forbidden power, and led them into corruption. The heavens shuddered at his words. The angelic hosts looked on in silence, their radiance dimmed by sorrow and fury alike. The decree of punishment was set, irrevocable and absolute. The Watchers would answer for their rebellion, their sins carved into the annals of eternity. Azazel, your corruption has spread like a plague upon the earth. You shall be bound in chains of darkness, cast into the depths of the abyss, sealed away until the final judgment. Semjaza, you who led this defiance, your fate is sealed. You and your brethren shall be imprisoned beneath the mountains of the earth, shackled in agony until the end of days. Lightning split the skies, the ground trembled, and the stars wept as the sentence was spoken. The Watchers, once luminous beings of divine order, now stood in defiance, knowing that their fate had been sealed. The fallen Watchers may be bound, but their legacy endures. The mysteries of the past hold truths yet to be unveiled. There are those who whisper that the knowledge of the Watchers was not entirely lost, that remnants of their teachings survived, passed down through secret societies, hidden within forbidden texts. Some believe the Nephilim were not entirely wiped out, that their bloodline survived in certain royal houses, their power diluted but never erased. Could the echoes of their influence still shape our world today? Legends speak of artifacts imbued with the essence of the Watchers, talismans that grant great power but come at a terrible cost. Could it be that even now, in the shadows of our modern age, there are those who seek to awaken the fallen, to break their chains, to restore the kingdom of the Nephilim? If you seek knowledge of the ancients, subscribe now and join us as we uncover the mysteries of the past and the secrets yet to be revealed.